Hello everyone and welcome to the Bearded Geeks, a weekly grab bag of topics covering movies, comics, video games and TV. My name is Jags, I'm the Beard Master. With me today, my co-host, the Bearded Mountain, Bobby Baxter.
G'day.
Making his triumphant return to the Bearded Geeks podcast, our carryover champ, Russell Redmond.
Howdy, guys.
And making his very first appearance on the show, it's stand-up comedian, Mr. Jake Baylis.
How's it going?
Jake, you've got, if I heard your name, I'd be like, that guy sounds like a stand-up comedian. I can just imagine that. And please welcome to the stage, it's Jake Baylis!
That's pretty much why I became a comedian. People just said your name just rolls off the tongue. Just do that. Plus, you suck in math.
It's cool when you got, called over the PA, Jake Baylis to the front office, please, Jake.
And the spotlight comes on.
Mike just pops up out of the floor.
We're going to get a few people up to the office. Can we have Jason Mills? Can we have Sarah McMahon? And Jake Baylis, everybody!
Put your hands together!
How is everyone?
Yeah, good. Feeling good.
You've got a bad back, don't lie.
No, it's much better. I managed to put my socks on today without crying, so I'm in a good mood.
Are you having too much sex as well, or...?
No, it was gardening, actually. No, sex. It was sex. Lots of it. Yes.
But sure, there's still roots involved.
Oh, baby.
Hey,
Bobby, 2 weeks of comedians on the show.
Yeah, I know.
We've had 3 stand-up comedians in 2 weeks.
I think I'll just quit. I'll leave it to you guys. See you later.
It's the Jake, Doug, and Russell show.
We need the mountain, mate. You are the Everest. That is the best.
Now, Russell, last time you were here, you were merely the meme lord of Launceston, but now you're a bona fide stand-up comedian.
Yeah, I did my first debut in November last year. I got up and did some jokes. And yeah, when I came, then I decided, I might keep doing this because I like it. I really like attention. And so I just kept doing it. Yeah. Just recently we went down to the Raw Comedy State Final, didn't we, Jakey?
Yeah, it was a pretty fun, pretty interesting experience going down there.
Yeah.
Those Hobart comedians are so funny.
Oh, they were... Wow.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
They got a different breed of comedian in Hobart?
Different inbreed of comedian.
Too much Cascade.
Sorry.
No, there's something in the water about them. I don't know. I'm not making judgments, but if they drank red, they'd be funnier.
It took us so long to find reds that are actually served on tap there. We went to a fair few places to eventually get to one that was served on tap. And we were there let's just not leave here. And then we got really drunk and did karaoke.
Yeah, that was a fun time. I was thinking that I made some poor song choices, though. It was my own inebriation. I should have gone more Tasmanian ads like you did. I believe you did the chicken feed theme. So
I did, actually. I sung the chicken feed theme. They got it up and I started singing it. And in my head, I'm pretty sure people were cheering and applauding. But I think that's just my overflated sense of self that was saying that they were. But it was good fun.
I think it was just people just more saying, we want chicken feed back. It was
they're like, oh man, I remember the $2 specials.
Yeah, the bargains. Do you remember there was an old couple they kissed? Well, we met back when there was only 50-cent lollies. It was sweet.
The next day in the news, all the shiploads have burnt down in town. You've caused a bargain shop riot.
Yeah. We prefer to acknowledge it as a revolution.
Yeah.
Now, Jake, your first time on the show, tell some of our bearded listeners some of your geek cred. What are you into? What do you like? What don't you like? Do you like Hot Rod as well? With Andy Samberg.
Oh, Hot Rod, fantastic. Possibly one of the best falling scenes I've ever seen in a movie. There's not many, hilariously falling scenes, but that scene where he's just rolling down that mountain after the massive dance number.
And that's Jake Baylis, everyone. Thanks for coming, Jake. See you later.
Anytime. See you.
Now, what do you like, Jake? What are you into? You a gamer? Do you like film? Do you like wrestling?
Oh, I love my wrestling. I'm a big wrestling fan.
What are your thoughts on Roman Reigns?
See, Roman Reigns is a good worker. Mm-hmm. I don't understand the backlash behind him, except for the fact that he's just the chosen one. But that's not his fault. He's the guy, and people hate him for that because the people want their chosen person. They want Daniel Bryan.
I didn't know we were going to get real. I was just asking, but
Yeah.
I come up with...
If you're going to bring up wrestling and stuff, we're going to start shooting, brother.
Right, now here's the thing. The Superman punch. Sorry, Bob, you just sit in the wings,
I will leave.
How you doing, Bobby?
Yeah, good.
The Superman punch. I'm just rename that because I'm sick of Michael Cole being like, Superman punch! Superman punch! Just call it the rain down.
Oh,
you see, you should be on creative for that. That's good.
See?
I don't know much about wrestling, but fuck, that got me excited.
Because his name's Roman Reigns,
Exactly.
R-E-I-G-N, Rain Down.
I think Michael Cole might be the worst thing for Roman Reigns. So if you listen to him, it's just like, and here comes the big dog, and it just sounds so. There's no emotion in anything. Unlike the old professional wrestling, you listen to a JR or a Jerry the King Lawler and stuff.
It's going to be a real slobber knocker.
Yeah, there's energy and stuff. You just feel like Michael Cole is just propaganda.
He sounds like the people who forget your name, so they just call you by like Chief, Big Dog, Cobber. It's always that one because I've got really bad memory. I'm always doing that. It's just like, how you doing, matey? And my wife's like, yeah, can you put the bins out?
I think he just he has like he's the big dog moniker, but he hasn't earned it. It seems very empty. That's why a lot of the fans aren't accepting
Vince
it.
is just like trying to push him to the forefront.
Yeah.
And it's different with Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan was very organic. Like he was very over with the fans and that, and creative just didn't get it. They just wouldn't give it to him until they eventually did.
They had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, so how long have you been a wrestling fan?
No. 20 years.
20 years?
Probably longer. Like I went to cousin. Like I never like watched a lot of wrestling when I was younger. My favorite wrestler was Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
And just like the Ultimate Warrior because he had an awesome look. And he just would grab the ropes aggressively and be like, fucking, I'm pinging, you know. But, yeah, you know, Hogan and all that was great. But, you know, it wasn't until we got like pay TV, like, All-Star and shit, when I finally, like, started to watch wrestling. Caught in at the, halfway through the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to, my cousins used to rent it from, Video City every few months and stuff. So my
Good
first,
times.
where can you go?
Video City. I was pointing to you, Bob, but I knew you wouldn't take it, so I had to jump in and do that.
You were so close.
I wasn't in Tasmania when that ad was airing.
Good times, mate. Can you go? The video store.
Blockbuster. So, my first match I ever saw was WrestleMania 10. Owen Hart versus Bret Hart, which is like considered one of the best wrestling matches of all time. And on the same card, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon in the quote-unquote first ladder match as well.
That's a great match.
So I saw these two fantastic wrestling matches, and I just went, I'm hooked. So that's why I've been a big wrestling fan.
All right, wrestling. So what else? Film? Game?
Love my games. I'm a PS4 man.
Yeah,
nice. We'll talk about obviously more gaming as well. They're currently playing Skyrim. Got myself some NBA as well. South Park: The Fractured Butthole as well, which is very interesting. Not as good in my opinion as Stick of Truth. No, it needed more. Randy, needed more substance. It seemed even though the game was pushed back like a year, it still was lacking something like a bit of a heart, a bit more tail. It was just a lot of sizzle, not much steak.
All right. What about film?
Film, more of a comedy, man. Don't watch too much nowadays unless it involves some sort of superhero. If you can involve like,
Which is like 80% of the market.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I wasn't a big fan when like this whole Marvel thing started off back in the day in like Phase 1, original like Iron Man and stuff. I'm like, these are just going to be movies, you know, blockbuster popcorn shit. But as it got on, they'd start to develop this story with the Infinity Stones, and they're now paying off. Like, after 10 years, I've now gone, all right, this is something that I can invest in. And the other movie, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but CGI effects. Where's the man in the iron suit? That's what I want.
So he's the opposite to me.
All right, cool. I feel like I have a brief overview of you now. What am I saying?
A brief Overwatch?
I'm high right now. Bobby, my friend, how are you?
Continuing to be good.
How's life?
Yeah, good.
That's good.
Yep. Good.
Do you want me to do the news now?
Yeah, let's do the news.
Is there a cool jingle for this?
Looks like the mountain's peaked.
Yeah. It's all downhill from here.
Seems like there's three guys on top of a joke there.
Now, we are doing a gaming-related episode today. We're talking retro gaming and growing up as gamers, like kids and stuff, and it was
Tough.
No, I mean, yeah, it was tough generally, but video games made it better, didn't it?
Yeah, they had to. They had to.
Yeah, it was.
But then you realise when you started playing that video games were tough as well. So
Yeah. But I mean, like, it doesn't matter how hard the bosses were; they weren't as hard as your stepdad on you.
Oh, they
So
got dark.
let's get to the news.
Russell, tell me
no
more
cheats.
about your troubled childhood.
Well, it all started.
It used to come in with a tube sock with a bar of soap in it.
Tube sucker was a jug cord for me, mate. Come on.
You had a dad?
Yeah.
My-
Stepdads, it's kind of cheating in a way.
I'm so jealous.
we have to change the topic.
My mum-
Today's episode, daddy issues.
Wow.
Daddy issues and how they affected you. Okay, so
What are we, 15 minutes in and we're already going off topic? This is great.
yeah, baby.
It's only 12 minutes. All right, let's do the news.
South.
So we got all video game related news today. Now this is a cool one. I read this today. So everyone in this room has Netflix, right?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. For the,
Everyone here likes to play video games
I do, yes.
and get educated.
no,
Yeah, sort of.
depends. I like naked news.
Well,
That's very revealing.
wow.
So's the news.
That's a dated reference, isn't it?
Yeah. There are people in 2003 that find that joke hilarious.
All right.
Easy.
Netflix has announced that they're producing a live-action Carmen Sandiego film.
Oh,
And Gina Rodriguez from Annihilation and Jane the Virgin has been cast as Carmen Sandiego.
Wow.
wow.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
On
Howtek,
Netflix, apparently.
Howtek, the question is, who in the fuck wants Carmen Sandiego?
Well, they're doing an animated series. So they announced an animated series first, and Gina Rodriguez is tapped to do the voice in the animated series. But now they're doing a live-action film. And they've described it as a standalone Carmen adventure that will embrace the beloved 90s property.
So, what about if they're going to do that? Can we have some other educational things, such as the Zumbinis game? Do you remember the
Ooh.
Zumbinis game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a bit of an odd one, but you start off by making these little weird characters, and they've got to go through these little levels, and that all dependent on like answering questions and doing puzzles, and they get to the end, and you're like, oh, that's great, I made this little character get there. But there's no real punchline to this. It's just, it was a good game.
See, the thing
What
about
an
Carmen
emotional
Sandiego
moment.
was, like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? It was a fun game, but they hid education in there, trying to get me. It's just like, here in the city of Peru. Like, I don't care about education. Where did she take that painting? Do you remember she was the head of Vile, the Villains International League of Evil?
Fuck, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That is pretty vile.
It's like, what, 1984 or 5 that first game came out? And there was an animated series and further games and whatever in that. But yeah, live action film on Netflix next year, more than likely.
Did you think she can pull off that sort of red look? You know, the like, red jacket and the red hat and everything.
The
like
massive
that?
red hat.
Massive
like
red
the
hat.
The gentleman thief.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be great. No, I'm
I'll watch
looking
that.
forward to it.
Because I pay for Netflix, so why wouldn't I watch it?
Yeah,
Well,
baby.
it can't be worse than Bright, so...
Ooh. Controversy.
Somebody's dark on bright.
Oh, boo.
Sorry.
I miss you, Russell.
I miss you too.
You haven't been on for 6 months. What are you doing? I literally like text Russell every Monday and I'm like, what nights off do you have this week? And they're always the wrong nights. But this week it was just like, he had Tuesday night off. And I'm, Bob, let's move the show back a day so we can get Russell in.
My wife's sitting at home going, where is he? I hope he doesn't come home soon because I'm enjoying having the TV to myself. No joke, she always has the TV to herself. That's why I bought a Nintendo Switch.
I was about to say, you got the fucking Switch. And you're laying in bed with a bad back anyway, so what are you going to
It
do?
was great, man. I had my back blown out. It was like, oh, yeah, really enjoyed getting it to that level.
Finally, something got blown.
Yeah, good. That's good, actually. I'm going to keep that.
Okay, use it.
Thank you.
Let's
Appreciate
go.
that.
Shadow of the Tomb
Yeah,
Raider
it
has
does.
been officially announced for September 14 this year on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and your personal computer.
Oh,
My very personal computer.
only Doug's. No,
You're going to have...
Sorry, I was thinking.
I am getting replaced. Fuck this.
You notice how when Russell comes on the show, he always like fucks up at least one joke, and he's like, "Oh no, sorry, I meant to say Jolly Snag Van."
That was a good joke.
That was a good
I'm gonna have
joke.
to
That was a
work
really
into
good joke.
something.
Russ has
Sorry.
just come in and said, like, there's not enough diversity here. There's too many white men. We need a brown man.
There's too much racism in this cave.
Yeah. We need to diversify it so we don't look as bad.
The game's described as Lara's defining moment as she becomes the Tomb Raider.
I thought that's what the last one was supposed to be.
too.
Well, in the picture she's got gloves on.
Oh, right.
She's got the fingerless gloves on. Finally,
Fingerless gloves.
maybe she'll get
Tim
2 guns
Fedora.
now instead of 1.
Wow.
Are the boobs pointy? That's the only thing that...
So, Jake,
No, we want the 1990s classic and stuff. What is this...
times have changed, man. Get with it.
Oh, man. Bring me back to some retro gaming.
Give me some of them nude codes. Remember when everyone got like up in arms and excited? Whoa, nude code. Whoa, good to see her naked. I'm just like, just go in your dad's bedroom, like under the mattress. It's where he keeps all the stick magazines.
That was the joys of having like a really good imagination. As a kid, you didn't need the cheat codes. You just like, perfect. There we go.
Just like hands floating in the air. It's just like,
Just close your eyes. You got virtual reality wherever you want to be.
I have no idea what to do with these.
I think I like them. I'm pretty sure I do.
so, did anyone play the first 2 Tomb Raider games? I did.
The first two or the
No, the new one. So the
new-
rebooted
yeah,
ones.
the first I played on the PS3. Fucking loved it.
Yeah, I
So
played
good.
just Tomb Raider, and I've only just started the second
Rise of the
one.
Tomb
Yeah,
Raider.
Yeah.
Nah, fucking really good.
Is anyone keen to see the film?
No.
With Alicia Vikander.
Yeah, I'm keen to see, just to see what it's like compared to the old Angelina Jolie film.
Cradle of Life.
Yeah, you just, like, it's one of those old things, like, you look at the old Transformers movies and you look at the new ones, you go, I just want to see, is it different, or has it got any better? Has it been saved, or is
Nothing's
it shit?
better than Transformers, the animated film, so we all know that.
To be honest, though, like I really hope she doesn't get upset if it gets like Alicia Vikander is in the name.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she doesn't get upset if it gets like bad reviews. I don't want her to get a neck out of joint over it because there's a lot to get out of joint. It's just very big.
Yeah, all right.
Cricket.
Hello, cricket.
Don't
Smile.
use that joke on stage,
Can-
Russell.
No. It's only here. It's only quality
So,
for here.
can this become like a little drinking thing? Every time he does like a bad joke like that, we just take a sip and just see how it rolls.
Well, I
by
won't
the
be
end of
going
the
to
night.
work tomorrow then. I better ring him now and let him know I won't be coming in.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, sorry guys, Russ is telling jokes, and you know what that means.
Sorry, guys, Russell's telling shit jokes.
Oh, not that guy. Fuck.
Yeah. And we understand. We'll see you on Wednesday.
My final bit of news, Bob, this will affect you because you have this game. They've recently released a new patch for Star Wars Battlefront 2, and the new patch has changed the progression system, so it's removed all the loot boxes and everything and gone to a basic leveling system, and it's unlocked every hero character and every hero ship from the get-go, and everyone just has fair, even playing ground, and we just play it and level up like we do in any other video game by killing people and getting points for it.
Wow.
Oh my god, that's so...
It's groundbreaking.
Yeah.
It's like they've made the game that people wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not like that 3.1 billion or whatever they lost in stocks like 6 months ago.
So you're saying that withholding content wasn't a good idea by them?
No, and loot box systems.
Ridiculous. Any system that has loot box just immediately annoys me. I play Overwatch sometimes, and that entire system is just loot box grinding, and if you want to get ahead, you've got to pay like $20.
I
particularly hate the Battlefront loot box animations though, because it goes like through 3 different fucking stages to open one box. You're like, you get to the menu bit and there's a box sitting there and you like press it and it like opens up 3 more boxes and you're like, fuck. And you open up another box and then it's like, turn the card over. Oh, so I got to turn the fucking card. I just opened the box and the other box that it came out of, and now I'm going to turn the fucking card over.
It's some babushka level shit going on
It
here.
is.
But trust the animator to have an issue with the animation.
I fucking hate it. And each box has got like 3 things in it, so you've got to like open that box and then another box, open that, flip that, get out of that box, go back into the next one, flip the next one.
If you wanted to deal with boxes, you'd just go and play bloody Crash Bandicoot,
I just
wouldn't you?
fucking moved house from Victoria last year. I'm sick of unpacking fucking boxes, man.
Now, have you played much Battlefront 2, Bobby?
Just the campaign, single player. I haven't touched the multiplayer at all.
Did you finish the campaign?
Yeah, did.
4-6 hours?
It's pretty short, which works great for me at the moment.
About Titanfall 2 kind of campaign?
Yeah,
So-
about that.
Yeah,
Cool. Pretty fun most of the way through. There's like a few hero sections that I wasn't into as much. It kind of takes you away from the main character, which is sort of more interesting. But yeah, overall it's pretty fun.
Yep.
Some of the space battles are fucking really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
I heard, this is one article I saw the other day. Apparently, the most recent Sims game or whatever, or there's some Sims game out at the moment, and they've released DLC for that Sims game, but now there's DLC for the DLC,
Oh, wow.
and I'm just like, get fucked.
That's Simception, isn't it?
Oh.
Sorry,
wait.
Seth.
Sorry.
We're going deep on gaming this episode.
Sorry.
Simception, I'll let you have that one, Russell. I'm not going to drink to that,
Thanks, mate.
but I'm going to drink anyway.
The people at home are obviously going to start playing this game now, so, you know, they'll get drunk with us.
Yeah, sweetheart, can you take me down the bottle shop? He's starting up again.
Yeah.
Now, you two guys, both comedians, they say to write what you know. I've seen both you guys perform. There's a lot of video game stuff in your sets.
Yeah. Loving it.
Yeah. Now, Jake, you made... I've told you this a couple of times, and I told Bobby, because after the night, he was like, how did Russell go? How was the show? I was like, yeah, it was really cool. I met this one guy, and he made, like, this Skyrim joke, and I was like, woo! Up the back. Anyway, Jake...
And everyone turned around and looked at you.
Who's that?
It literally did. Jake made this joke about Skyrim. I was like, up the back, and I was like, woo! And he's like, yeah, that guy up the back, he knows. There's one guy that plays Skyrim. I'm like, that's me. And then everyone turned
You were
around and looked at
practicing
me.
your shout from Skyrim?
Yeah.
I once almost broke up with my now ex-girlfriend, but at the time girlfriend, over a game of Skyrim, which might sound a bit excessive, but like hear me out and stuff. So, like, I'm trying to justify my own actions here. We had a dual character that we were both playing. We were playing an orc, and so I was playing for a while. Then a few mates came over. I'm like, all right, honey, do you mind like playing this game for a while or hang with the boys? She's like, yeah, sure, it's fine. 4 hours later, come back, boys have gone. I'm like, oh, I might, play a few hours of Skyrim. She's like, nah, come to bed. I'm like, oh, I want to play some Skyrim. She's like, no, come to bed and stuff.
Oh.
So bed, next day, wake up. She's early. She goes to the gym. I wake up about noonish because I don't go to the gym.
Because you're a comedian.
Because I'm a comedian who plays video games, so I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, midday rolls by, put on Skyrim, and my character is in jail, and he has a tunic on, and he has a shiv, and that's all. I have no dragon armor, I have no items or anything like this, and I have no idea what's going on. So like, I call her, I send her a message like, what's happening and stuff, and she doesn't reply because she's at the gym. And so I was losing my shit. Turns out it's a mission. It's just a mission where you get taken to jail and you've got to make your way to the other end of the bloody mine to get your items back. But I didn't know that, so I just refused to play the game and really...
that mission in Markarth.
Yes. Yeah, so I ended up getting really angry when she came back. What happened? Where's my dragon armor? Do you know how long it takes to grind all this? Oh, my smithing! And then she's like, it's just a mission and you're overreacting.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's me almost breaking up with my girlfriend at the time over a game of Skyrim.
That's a very good story.
Wow, now I want to hear why you actually broke up. Because that has to be like 100 times better.
Oh, wow.
Have you played The Witcher 3?
Is it because she chose to go with the Stormcloaks? Is that why you... It's like,
We just
Stormcloaks? What are you...
we just couldn't reconcile after that. It was just too much.
Skyrim's for the Nords, sweetheart. No, it's not. You don't understand the Imperial.
The tyranny everyone's been under. Do you know what it's like to be a dark elf? You have no idea what they go
Pauline
through.
Hanson?
More local references.
Da-da-da-da-da.
All right, let's talk about some retro gaming.
Yeah, baby.
Bob's on the Eckies.
The Dos Equis.
Which is Spanish for the Yankees.
I'll take two.
Oh, he is pinging.
Now, all of us here in this room, we've grown up playing video games because we're all fucking nerds. And that's what you did when you were a kid. So we did an episode last year, movies that rocked our childhoods. And we always wanted to come back and do like, at some stage we're going to do like cartoons that rocked our childhoods. But today we wanted to do like a video game episode. But we sort of morphed it, and that instead of being just like a basic list of games and that we loved, we've tried to structure it a bit and throw in a few questions and that, some specifics. So now, we've had a lot of consoles, we've had a lot of systems, but do you guys remember what was the very first system or console that you guys got? For me, I'm pretty sure we had an Amiga.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were like,
Super old school.
as a child, I just remember this Amiga. I don't remember what it was called, I just remember Amiga with the keyboard and everything. I think we had like a light gun as well.
Oh, sick.
But, yeah, like the Amiga was like the very first thing we had. And then after that, we went on to Commodore 64. And then after that, we had an Atari. And then so on.
You
and
guys
so
were
forth.
early adopters. Well, I guess how much older is your brother than you?
He's 2 years older than me, so we'll be.
Okay, not that
He's
much.
35 this year.
Yeah. No, that's still pretty early though. Like,
What about you though?
Oh well, 'cause, see, I was the oldest child, so Nintendo Entertainment Systems first.
Nintendo.
It was a second-hand one too. I had spent years trying to convince my parents to actually
that
buy
was
me
the
one.
case of, wasn't it? You know?
Yeah. And because I was the eldest, it was like it was my battle, my fight to bring for the rest of the children behind me.
You really were the Jesus of it, just like trying to bring the way to
Yeah.
your brothers and sisters.
Just ride my coattails.
I think I do remember it was like Christmas, came down and opened up this big box, and it was the Super Mario All-Stars combination box of the Super Nintendo, and my mum also bought Donkey Kong Country as well. So it was a great year for gaming that year, just sitting there, just playing with my monkeys and that, and just plumbing around.
I think I was like Sega. I think Mega Drive would have been back in the day.
Yeah.
Nice.
First one of games I would have played would have been Alex the Kid, going all the way back. Nothing better than a game that can finish with a game of rock paper scissors.
In Miracle World.
Yeah.
Yep.
See,
Well,
I think
I
that's
had,
what started love.
Yeah, I had the Atari, Sega Master System after that with the closed lid that came with
yes.
Alex Kidd and Miracle World built into it.
Oh, yeah.
Played a lot of that game. I bought the Sega Mega Drive bloody retro thing just before Christmas.
Combination one.
Yeah,
With
it's
all the
got
games
like
built
Alex the Kid built into it, and I was like, relive my childhood when I was like 5, and I was like, and I was playing it, and I was like, I used to be so fucking good at this game. Now I'm terrible.
Yeah, it's amazing how like you notice how terrible you are at games like those games now than when you were as a kid. I think it's just because we're able to focus more and more driven. Like we're just like, I'm gonna fuck you, game. I'm gonna beat you. Whereas now
Because you
it's
couldn't
just like,
save it or anything. There was none of that.
No.
Like, you know, you'd have half hour before you went to school. So you're like, fuck, turn it on. I can get through this game before and you wouldn't finish something. You'd die, you'd go back to the first level, and you would just keep playing, and you'd just get good at it, memorize it, like Dark Souls.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you were, as a kid as well, you weren't buying like 25 games a week like you do now.
No,
you
we were lucky
you were
to
like,
get like 1 or 2 games a year.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
NES, and you got really good at those games. You moved on to the next one.
and you got real good mileage out of those fucking games.
Bloody hope you did.
They were still selling them for like over $100, I think, too, like back then, or around that price, I think.
They still hold their value quite well, the Nintendo games do, because like nowadays, if you're going to pick up like a cartridge or so, it's roughly about the same price you would have paid at the time, maybe a little bit less. Like, whew, it's good value.
Yeah.
Cartridges were still pretty pricey back in the day. Like, I remember, like, I pulled some of them out of the cupboard just before, and one of them had, like, the price tag still on it. And it was, like, a Master System game, this Donald Duck game I had. It was, like, $47 or something like that.
Wow.
For a cartridge. This was, like, a Master System cartridge. This was, like, back in, like, would have been the late 80s, like, very early 90s. But, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fucking good game. You run around as Donald Duck, you got this massive fucking mallet and smashing bricks and fucking take that, you bastard.
People underestimate how like OP he is. Like that duck can dive into an entire pool of coins and he's completely fine. That would kill and break the spines of a normal person. So sure, he's a cartoon.
I used to watch a lot of DuckTales. Yeah.
DuckTales was the best.
Every day they're out there making
DuckTales.
They're actually still making DuckTales now.
Yeah, they are now. Like
Yeah.
David Tennant does the voice of Scrooge McDuck. I
haven't actually watched
wow.
it yet, but I'm really keen to see it because it looks.
Yeah, I really like
fucking
the
cool.
the animation style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I just like how no one's like turned around and said, no, this is really racist because making fun of like Scottish people for being tight with money, that's actually very racist. Whereas Scottish people are just like, I don't care, I just love their bit of character that he like.
I can understand.
Does anybody remember like the very first like game they ever played? But we'll go to arcades because back when we were kids, there used to be these places called arcades where they had arcade machines, and you go and you put your bloody pocket money in, and you get a couple of goes of Mortal Kombat, but you'd be real shit at it.
Yeah.
And then you die, and you're like, well, I can't buy lollies now because I spent my money on bloody Mortal Kombat and got killed anyway by Sub-Zero. But does anyone remember like we've talked about first consoles we've had, but does anybody remember like going to the arcade, like any arcade games that actually like stood out to you guys? Because that was like the popular thing to do. Like when you got older, like kids just used like hang out in front of the shops and smoke. But like when we were kids, we used to just like go like my Milk Bar in my hometown, which was the video shop as well. Like you walk out the back into the dark room and it was the arcade, and they had a couple of racing games and that you could sit in. They had like it was like some helicopter game. You fucking had the big joystick and that on it. It was awesome, and that, you know, Mortal Kombat and all that sort of stuff. But do you guys like any arcades over in?
We had them, but my parents struggled to get me off the fucking console enough that they would never take me to an arcade.
They probably save more money doing it that way too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, wow. No, I used to be a fiend for Galaga. I used to love Galaga so much. And, like, when I was younger and I'd be playing it around all my mates and that, and, like, it was that real risky maneuver of trying to get that double, like, ship, you know, so like you get the one of the other dudes to suck you up into the, like, tractor beam. Don't go there,
Come on,
Jake.
Jake.
I'm trying really hard here, Jake. And then, so, once you've got to, like, shoot at the right time as it's coming down at you, and then you get the two shooters at the same time, and you just, like, turn to your mates like, I am the fucking man. And they're just looking at you like, you're a fucking idiot. You know, I was like, I'm shooting them.
I think I like back in the day, definitely Mortal Kombat. Spent a lot of time playing that. Johnny Cage for life. Don't judge.
Friendship.
And WWF Superstars they used to always have as well. Yeah,
Hell
like
yeah.
characters like the Big Boss Man and IRS and the $1 Million Man and Hulk Hogan and oh yeah, Randy Savage, oh yeah, Macho Man coming at you, yeah.
You're not here in the cave, but like Jake's over here and he's really getting into the role. He's like playing with his glasses and everything. He thinks he's the Macho Man with his fluorescent like see-through glasses.
Yeah, Macho's coming down.
I
Macho's
wish-
excited.
I
He's
wish-
excited for the podcast.
I seriously wish he was wearing pants right now, but anyway, let's get going.
Sip.
Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah, no, arcades were great, but Jesus Christ, they were expensive if you weren't good at them.
They were too, yeah, because it was like
Like,
a buck or
that's
two a game. Like I didn't have that kind of money.
You're like, ugh.
You look at the fools that play pinball and just like, look at you. It doesn't even have graphics. Why do you even want to play that? But now I'm
Where do
older,
you
I'm
put
like,
your name in the score, you idiot?
yeah, ASS. You're so funny.
Yeah, like I didn't have money back then. Like even now, like as a 33-year-old man, like if I find a $2 coin on the side of the road, like I pick it up and I'm like, today's a good day.
Guess who's getting a Mars bar? This guy.
10 warheads, that's for me.
Now, Russell, you had a house full of siblings. Bobby, you had a house full of siblings. I had siblings. Jake, you had siblings growing up?
I'm a one-man gang by myself.
Right, so you had friends, inverted commas.
Quote unquote, yes. Yes. Well, you know, Mario's a great friend, really.
Fucking love that plumber. Now, did you guys ever have to, like, fight over the console, like, with your brothers and sisters and stuff? Because I generally, like, we were pretty much okay, because my sister, she would come in and play a bit of games every now and then. Like, I know she bought Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and she wanted to play that. So she played that a little bit, but it was mainly my brother and I, because we shared a bedroom. So I was going to ask, like, you know, you had this question down here, Bob, but like, who was your gaming buddy? Like, you had friends and that come around, you played games with. My gaming buddy was my brother because we shared a bedroom.
Yeah.
You know, we shared a bedroom till we were like fucking nearly 18. So, like, he went away.
That would have got awkward around 14 to 16 there.
Like, he went off to
swap techniques. That's great. I prefer shampoo.
He was the monster under the bed. Or the bunk bed.
No, he went off to like college and that when I was like 13, 14. And then he went to uni straight after that. So I pretty much had like the bedroom to myself.
I'll tell you what, being 13 years old and having the bedroom to yourself is pretty handy. Gotcha.
But yeah, did you guys ever have to like fight for the console? Like someone comes in like, I want to play fucking Mega Man, and someone comes in like, no, I want to play fucking some other Nintendo related game I don't know.
When I was the eldest, so like I won all the fights. But
you were just like, fuck off.
Yeah, and I fucking like 8-meter long arms as well. So
it does help that you're shaped like a bloody. You're shaped like a Mack truck wearing a hat.
Yeah. But I would always lose because then like you'd have 3 of them run off and tell the parents. Watch Jungle Book for the 8,000th time today. Like, fucking.
Oh man, I've got a great story. My little brother once. I used to play the Nintendo 64 a fair bit. And he'd crack the shits because he always wanted to like watch cartoons and that. And I left the room for like 5 minutes, came back, and he had my Ocarina of Time cartridge on the floor. I come from a very feral background. He had it on the floor, and he was pissing all over it.
What?
Legitimately, it happened.
That can't be true.
No,
I bet you wish you had the Ocarina of Time just then to go back.
Get me out of here,
Was it the golden edition?
It was.
It was.
It was. Fuck, that's good. That is a really good joke. Oh, if I was wearing a hat, they'd be tipped.
You can take that joke. Oh, it wasn't even the golden edition.
No, it was frightening. It's just like, but thank fuck those cartridges are hardy. Yeah.
Now, just to unbox that story just a little bit more.
Yeah, let's go deep into this.
What did your mum say? It's just like pissing on the carpet in the lounge room.
Well, as I said, I come from a very feral background. Mum couldn't care less, mostly because of like she was on lots of pills and stuff.
I can picture Russ like walking up to the door and opening it and goes dun 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 dun.
Holding up a pissy cartridge. No, it was, Mum honestly couldn't care less. As long as like we weren't like beating the shit out of each other, she couldn't care, but she did care because I started beating the shit out of him. So, yeah.
Eventually she cared.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, when it affected the money she was getting from the government, of course she'd care. But I mean, anyway.
Hey!
So what's the next question?
Hashtag deep-seated issues.
Been a big
dark.
day.
Now, Jake, being an only child, did you get pampered and fucking... Mum, I really want this Of course, son. Take this money and buy this thing you want.
Yeah,
have all the sweets you want, my boy. You're all I have.
Yes, pretty much. That was pretty much it. But here's the thing, though. Like, because of this, I was easily satisfied with stuff. So I got like a Sega when I wanted it. So I played like Sonic and stuff. And then when I got Nintendo, I just played sort of like Mario Kart and stuff. But like, I wasn't truly buying every console. If I got it, like, stuck to Sega for a while, then eventually, once I lost that, moved to Nintendo. I wasn't buying the 3 consoles that come out, so I wasn't that pampered.
That was the case back in the time when there was those kids who had all the consoles at once. You're like,
Scum.
Fuck those kids.
Fuck you guys. And then when you get older, you're like, fuck you guys. I've got all the consoles now. And you're like, hang on a sec, I'm a 28-year-old man. Of course I've got all the consoles.
Do you ever have that one friend you went around to their house, they had like everything, then you were like, you got really excited because I remember I went to one guy's house I went to school with. I went around his house after school once, and I went in his bedroom and he had like, because I was big on Power Rangers at the time, and he had like all the Power Rangers toys. He had like all the Zords and shit, and he had the Mega Drive there, and he had like this Power Rangers game. I was like, can we play the Power Rangers game? He's just like so blasé about it because he's played it a billion fucking times.
Yeah.
Rich bastard. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever, man, just play it. And I'm sitting there and playing, I'm like genuinely excited. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm beating the Green Ranger. He's my favorite Power Ranger. Tommy for life. And I was just like, and then he's just sitting there and he's just like, you could just see him like obviously getting bored. And it's just like, all right, I have to go have dinner now. And I'm just like, oh, can I borrow this game? No.
Oh.
But yeah, it was
You
like
cannot be
having that
happy,
one
young
friend.
I like
those
how your
kids-
favourite was the Green Ranger, yet your balls were blue because you missed out on the fun.
I was like
those
8,
kids
Russell.
Those kids never lent anything though. Because
No,
they
they
were
wouldn't
onto
either.
all of us shitty
Yes.
kids with
No, because-
giant families because we'd all go around their one house.
They'll end up pissing on the cartridge. We can't lend it to him.
Yeah, that's the reason why he won't lend it to you. It's the
I
same
trust
reason-
you, but I don't trust the other fucking eight of you.
So let's lay out some games. Let's lay out some games that fucking rocked us. Russell, before we go into that, do you still have that cartridge? The PC cartridge?
No, I don't actually. Amazingly, it stopped working after a while.
Who would have thought? Used to the
Yeah.
64.
I turned to my little brother and said, "You're in trouble now."
Everyone
a
take
drink.
a long,
Have
slow
it
sip.
over.
Tell me some games that you loved, Russell, that you loved to play.
Well, obviously, Ocarina of Time was quite special because when I got
Bullshit!
it was very important to
Shit
me
game.
because
Fuck out of here.
it
He's
was
off his own podcast. Get out.
No, it was like it was a defining moment in my life where I was like going from being a kid to a teenager. So in the game, like you go from being this young boy to being like this older kid.
Yeah.
And just like really important to me. I was just like, oh, this is great. I can like really appeal to this character. I'm like, oh, I
It
could appeal a lot
dropped.
more if I could have a hook shot and shoot myself onto the roofs of other people's places. But anyway, it's pretty cool.
It dropped pretty much perfectly timing for like, it's almost like a coming of age game.
It is.
And we were doing that at the same time. I was like 12 or 13 when that came out, I think. And
Yeah, it's just like, oh, this game's hard. Hang on a sec, so am I. What's going on there?
No, man, that game really blew my mind. Like,
yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
like you'd walk out and then you're just like, holy fuck, in your head, you're just like, the same way I play Breath of the Wild. I'm just like, whoa, this is an incredible vista. But reality, it was just like 20 boxes on the screen, and you're just like, I want to go to that green box over there.
Yeah. The first time you open it up into the fields there, I was just like, holy
Speaking to that
shit.
owl, and you're like smashing A, going, come on, let me in there, and you keep pressing A, and it says, do you understand? No and yes, and no is at the top, and you accidentally press A, and you keep going, no. It's like,
every
oh no,
fucking
I've done it
time.
again. Fuck you, Al. Fucking hate owls.
What about you, Jake? Seeing as they've got a game that blew their minds, was there something significant for you when you were a kid that was just like, holy fuck, this game is incredible?
I'm gonna drop a weird one out there. I'm gonna go Toe Jam and Earl. For the old so that was definitely a game that rocked me back in the day. Also for the 64 Clay Fighters.
Oh,
If
yeah.
anyone remembers Clay
I
Fighters,
remember that
yeah.
on the Super Nintendo. I don't think I played the 64 one.
Oh, the 64 one was just as good, but just like more animated. And
Yep.
definitely the two ones that really, as a kid, that sort of like got me into gaming and stuff, just because how weird it was. Because at the same time, as a cartoon, Ren and Stimpy was out.
Yep.
So Earthworm Jim, the game, and Boogerman. Just because
I still have Boogerman.
Oh my god.
yeah, because it's like a big cartoon, that
Yeah.
game, and so that's why I was like, well, this is absurd, this is weird, I don't get it. But
How is this a game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just one of those absurd things that I was like, I want to keep playing this. So,
Deodor Ant to the boss. Yeah.
and with Earthworm Jim at the very end, you fight a goldfish. Spoiler alert, sorry.
I'd
It's
hate
been
to be-
out for 15 years.
Imagine being that person who's just like taking their earphones out and goes, "Oh, you fucking prick!"
I've been waiting to play that game.
Just throws his game console. Fucking fuck this.
Now, Bob, you're a big Earthworm Jim guy. You did some Earthworm Jim artwork last night.
That
I
was
did
amazing. I
last
saw
night,
that. That's
literally.
incredible, man.
Really?
Yeah, he does. Oh man, I'll show you
Perfect
later.
time.
Yeah, because I was thinking about this show tonight, and I was like, fucking reeling back through the games. I'm like, Earthworm Jim's like straight out as
How
like one of
absurd-
my
it-
fucking.
How
favorites.
absurd is it? But so good at the same time
Yeah.
for that time frame and stuff. It seems like they could just throw any weird idea. It's like, yeah, we can make a cartoon out of that.
Yeah,
I think there
even
was a-
drawing him last night, I was just like, I was piecing him together. I'm like, fuck. When you actually step back and have a look at this character for a second, it's fucking weird. It's like a big muscle suit that's empty that a worm goes inside, and then there's a fucking booger in the back. I'm like, what the fuck is this suit?
And they made a cartoon series and stuff,
Yeah.
like for a couple of seasons out of it. I'm like, this is definitely not for kids.
No.
No. Same as Ren and Stimpy though.
Yeah. Ren and
That's-
Stimpy
yeah.
was like formative for my childhood. Like, fucking
same.
changed my life.
Mm.
Yeah.
I always had an issue with earthworm as a term, like earthworm. Well, where else is that worm going to be? Like
Mars worm.
Skyworm.
Well, no, in the Earth itself. Like, how many worms do you see flying? Oh, it's in the Earth. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Ringworm.
All right, you got me there.
Tapeworm?
Tapeworm?
That's normally found in the Australian Cricket League.
Oh, I was just about to do that joke. Fuck you.
Yeah. Get two comedians in the room, see who's going to fight over the joke.
Oh, that's such a good joke.
Now, seeing as we're talking about games that fucking rocked our worlds, the one game that like really blew me away, and I can probably say this because I was, 13, 12 or 13 at the time, Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1.
Oh, yeah, that was huge, yeah.
There was no game like, because every game I played up to that point was like, run and slice this guard, throw this apple, save the princess, get the key to unlock the door. This is like terrorists have taken over this island and they've got all these clone troopers and everything, and you play this one agent who's retired and you got to come back and one of them turns out to be your clone brother and you got to murder them all, and it's like a movie. But yeah, there was no game out there so theatrical or cinematic. Like I was never a Nintendo guy, so I never played like a Zelda game or a Final Fantasy game until I got to the PlayStation.
Here he is calling Ocarina of Time bullshit.
Hasn't even played it.
Filth.
Yeah,
Heresy.
Just throwing shade.
So like the first real sort of cinematic game that I ever really played was on the PlayStation 1. So it was like games like Metal Gear Solid. Final Fantasy VIII was the first Final Fantasy game I played. And it's like daunting when you're like a 12-year-old kid, 13-year-old kid, and you buy this game and you're like, my friend played Final Fantasy VII and this looks really good. And you open it and there's 4 fucking discs in it. And there's like an instruction book like, as thick as the phone book. And you're like, holy shit.
Back when instruction manuals actually counted. Like, they were important.
I bought Fallout 1 when it came out. Wow. And it came with the Wastelanders, like...
Survival Guide.
Yeah, Survival Guide. Which was like 200 pages.
Yeah.
It was fucking huge.
It's like, Dad, can I get this game? Yeah, no worries, bring it home. You're just like reading it for 2 days. It's like, are you going to play that game? It's like, yeah, I'm just getting ready. Like that was the character like selection screen like back in the day.
You're incredibly lucky and stuff. If you ever like rented a game and stuff and you get the manual, and if you're lucky, you'd have someone else who's like played the game already and like written the codes in the back of the manual.
Yeah.
Don't have to do half the work now. Thank you, whoever did this.
Imagine being someone who just put in the wrong codes. Just to be an arsehole.
Some poor kid sitting there.
This is how trolling started. The first original troll, just putting in the wrong cheat codes for games.
Problem gamer.
Instruction books were big for me because I lived like an hour and a half, to my closest major city. So I would get a game, or mum and dad would buy me a game or whatever, and I'd be sitting in the back of the car and I'd unwrap it and open it and pull the instruction book out, and I'd be going through it and like learning, A is attack, C is jump, and all this stuff. So like I would have half the knowledge before I got home, so I didn't have to like waste 5 minutes of learning it when I got home, and that was 5 minutes extra playing time I had.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you look at all the pictures and you just learn all this stuff. And back when instruction booklets used to be substantial, now I get real disappointed when I buy a game and I open it and it doesn't even have an instruction manual.
Go to the internet site to learn more. I'm like, fuck off.
Or if it does have it's just like a little 2-page thing that just has like all the terms and conditions and shit in it, and I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Just an ad for their fucking DLC. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like the instruction booklets are just as shallow as some of the people you meet. Just like, oh, really? This is pretty boring.
I expected more. I need some girth. Give me something deep.
I want something solid I can get into me. You know?
Give me some character descriptions. Give me something.
Oh, more. I'm done.
I'm gonna toss out some games that I used to play that I loved. Like these when I was thinking about it like the last few days, these are games that fuck up Russell. These are games that are like really like stood out to me. Like these were the real sort of memorable, like formative games for me. There was this game on the Atari 2600 we had called Hero, and you played a little guy in a white helmet. He had like a helicopter backpack, and you would fly down into this cave, and you had like 4 or 5 bombs, and you had to blow up these walls. But then when you got to later levels, the walls were like laser walls, but if you touched them, you died. So you could only get so close. And then you would drop the bombs and you would blow the walls and you would drop down like into this cave area and there'd be like spiders and bats. But that's okay because you had like laser eyes like Superman and you just shoot them. You go, and then you would like find a guy down at the bottom of this level and you touch him and you get points and stuff. And then you go to the next level.
Does it matter where you touch him, or is this
no? Because you just walk
Show
up
me
to
on
him
the
and
doll
then
where he touched you.
like you
on the
can
Catholic priest where he touched
Show me the instruction booklet where he touched you.
There's no cheat code. Get away from that.
Harvey
up,
wants
down,
to
up,
own the
down,
game.
forget button.
But yeah, but there was that game. There was Hero. I loved River Raid. Did anyone play River Raid on the Atari?
No.
That was a great game. It was just a plain game. You just flew up the river and blew up bridges and other helicopters and stuff. That was sick.
I used to love those top-down flight games and stuff.
Oh, yeah, they were great, weren't they?
Yeah.
Did anyone play Afterburner?
Nope.
It was a playing game. It was literally just like a jet in that you had, and you just flew along and blow up other jets. It's what John Connor's playing in Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah, I did play that.
Yeah, Afterburner.
The best of the Terminators.
Not
Yes.
Terminator Genesis.
I'm
Patrick
sorry,
Brown.
sir.
No, we had an argument about this last year on the show.
Are we bringing that up again, are we?
Oh, Russell, you back, are you?
Sorry, I was just grabbing another beer. We haven't brought up World War III again, have we?
No, that's all right. I'm going to run through some more games. I'm going to jump over to the Mega Drive now. Maximum Carnage.
Yes, well, on Super Nintendo. But
Yeah, the Nintendo version, but I had the
Yep.
Mega Drive version. We could pull that out and play it after this. It'd be great.
I won't know the buttons. Fucking weird ass
Sonic the
controller.
Hedgehog 2, but going back to like having friends or brothers in my case and that, and you know, what was a game that you guys like went to that you would play? For us, it was NBA Jam. Like we played the fucking shit out of that game, and I
Maximum-
was always Seattle Supersonics because I wanted to be Scotty fucking Pippen.
Maximum Carnage was one that we used to rent all the time. Me and my little buddy that we used to play with.
That's another funny story too. I'll come back to that after you.
But Maximum Carnage was one, but the main one that we used to get out all the time and play together was Turtles 4. Turtles in Time.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was fucking co-op beat 'em up like Double Dragon
Yeah, hell
style.
yeah.
And
We
it was
played the
Turtles.
shit out of that. And and it was Ninja Turtles, like fucking hell.
What about Battletoads? Come on.
Oh yeah, Battletoads too.
You know,
Yeah,
if we're gonna throw around, some frogs, let's throw around some toads as well.
I loved me some Battletoads back in the day. Yeah.
Because I come from like a large family, it was Mario Party because it was like one of the only games you can get a whole bunch of people playing. But then again, it just ended up with more fights and crying and nearly pissed on cartridges because, oh, you took me stars. It's like, that's just how the game is. You're a prick. I hate you. Just run off to the bed.
I hate you, you little prick.
See, I'm of the belief that you can judge a person by their choice of Mario Kart and or Mario Party character. So, what's your poison, Russ? As I take control of the host.
Don't judge me.
duties for the moment.
This is just let me interject. This is all Chinese to me because I was a Sega guy. I wasn't a Super Nintendo
it's actually
guy, but-
Japanese, the Nintendo is. But anyway.
Hey Russell, fuck you.
Sorry.
Let's at least talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just-
okay.
Let's enjoy Russell's
Sorry.
last time on
Okay.
the show.
Anyway, so I was a bit of a Yoshi man.
You
Ooh,
would be. You
Yeah.
feel so.
I'm not very good at it, so I need to have that quick acceleration at the start because I normally hit things.
Oh yeah, I'm a. Is it the green shell? Is he Koopa? The
Koopa,
little-
yeah.
I was a Koopa or a Toad. They were
Yeah.
my two go-tos.
See, I used to always play these games with my mate Josh, and he always chose Yoshi, and I forever hate him. It's our rivalry. My thing is Wario. That's what I prefer. He's bigger than Mario. He's a little bit stronger. Sure, he might be slow, but he's evil, and that's what you want. You want a diabolical, evil yellow plumber with
He's
a
going-
fantastic moustache
He's
and a
going
big
down those.
nose.
He's going down those pipes for a different reason.
Yeah, he's gone plundering. He's checking out Wario's world, if you know what I mean.
So anyway, sorry, Jakes.
That's fine. That's fine.
I actually feel very sad for you that Mario Kart's not in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Ooh.
kind
No,
of
it's
very
not.
Jack.
No,
Ooh, yeah.
unfortunately, no.
It's
It's a shame. It's like you've missed.
But
out
I had
on
other
something.
great
It's
stuff,
like you never
like-
ate carrots.
We
yeah, but the other great stuff doesn't match up to Mario Kart.
Yeah, like you can
Mario
have your,
Kart is
you can have
literally
your
the
Spy-
pinnacle.
You can have your Spyros. You can have whatever you want. Stuff. Nothing compares.
Spyro's good.
So I never had a PlayStation. I was like Nintendo.
Yeah, same.
It was my cousins who had all that stuff. So
Same.
now the fact that Spyro and all these like games are being re-released, it's the very first time I've ever played all this shit. So I'm getting like an entire new experience. Oh my god, Spyro in fantastic graphics? Yeah, sure, I'll enjoy that way better than it was when I was like 10-ish.
No, it's good because you get to enjoy it in a whole new sense.
A new fantastic point of view. Yeah. It's a whole new world. If anyone didn't get the first Disney reference.
You can keep going because I don't know anymore.
Ah, come
It's
on.
Aladdin, for God's sake!
Yeah, Jesus.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
On that note, I used to play Aladdin a lot on the
On
Mega
the
Drive.
SNES?
That was
on
a
the SNES?
Yep.
no on
It would've
Mega
been
Drive.
Mega Drive.
Better versions on Mega Drive. Sorry,
It
we
is,
can pull it
that's
out,
true.
and I can
That
prove it to
legitimately
you.
is true. I'm a Nintendo fanboy, but that is correct.
And the Lion King as well. Like Disney games on the Mega Drive, all those sort of middle generation consoles, they were fucking incredible.
Very hard as well.
And they were very... I tried to play the Lion King a couple of months ago. I couldn't get past the second level. I'm like, how the fuck did I used to do this?
There's ones in like the Lion King where like you're jumping on top of like the giraffes' necks and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just constantly fall down. I'm like, how as a small child could I do this? Yet somehow now, though it's probably the weed, but you know, hey, let's not blame.
You're
it.
jumping on the giraffes next. You're like, hey, it looks like that lady from the new Tomb Raider movie.
You're still trying to drive that.
I'm
record.
sorry. I think it's very funny.
I think we should all have a drink.
Yeah, I pity the audience listening to this because they've had like 7 drinks from Ross's bad jokes.
Now, one game my brother and I used to play as well was Golden Axe 2. Now, it was a great game, and because he came over, and my sister-in-law, they came over at Christmas time, and we were all together, I took my, like, new HD Mega Drive down, and had Golden Axe 2 built into it. Christmas Day, we sat, like, my dad's got this back deck, and he's got his own TV and that outside, so we can go out and, like, watch cricket and shit. We watched Die Hard out in the back deck on Christmas Eve. It was fucking incredible. So we were sitting there waiting for Christmas lunch, and we're like, Mum said it's going to be like half hour. Let's play Golden Axe 2. And then him and I sat there and we got through Golden Axe 2, beat Death Adder and everything, and beat the other secret boss and that at the end. And we're like, yeah, we finished it. And Mum's like, lunch is ready. And we're like, fuck yes, best day ever.
Best day of my life.
Best day of my life.
You go to get up
Thanks,
too quickly and
Auntie
you get like
Donna.
a sore back and you get like zapped back to reality. It's like, oh, that's right, I'm not a kid anymore. Oh, no.
Snap back to reality.
There goes
Eminem.
gravity. What about PC games? Did you guys ever used to play any PC games?
I never had a personal
I never had a
computer.
PC, but I had a lot of mates that did. Like, I made it a pretty big effort to, like, get around to all my other mates who had all the shit.
How great
Commander
was it?
Keen was one.
There you go.
I had a mate who had a PC, and he every time I went around, he was just playing Age of Empires.
Yeah, I was about to make the joke and say, like, you remember when you were young and you felt like such a baller when you got that Kellogg's box and you ripped out that Age of Empires plus the expansion on it, and you're like, there's a whole fucking game with me bloody cereal. I'm going to play this. And you play it, and it was so much fun. It was great.
Didn't they also release?
Was
like,
there a joke in there, or because I'm not laughing?
I was just, you know,
No, the joke was like later on they also released like the Beck Hewitt like single and stuff, and that was more of a joke. Yeah.
Deep cuts.
Oh god, do it!
Go back to Age of Empires.
I looked at the guys. I don't want to buy Cocoa Pops anymore if I'm going to get that.
Beck Cartwright, more like Beck Cart wrong. Fuck you.
I'm just gonna buy
Another
some
drink.
I'm gonna buy some Sultana brand instead.
Yeah, I'm going to be healthy. Thanks, Beck Hewitt.
I'm just gonna buy this packet of fucking muesli.
I don't listen to your fucking music.
But how good was Diablo as well on the PC? Did you ever play Diablo?
Yeah.
That was great, man.
Loved the first Diablo. Yeah.
It was just the joy of like trying to get those rare drops and just like smashing these guys, and a rare drop would drop. And you're like, fuck yes.
Oh, I tell you, one of the first fucking PC games I ever played and loved, Leisure Suit Larry in the land of
Yes.
the lounge lizards. And every kid had the fucking cheat sheet ready to go. Like, it was almost passed around at school, like how to get through those 10 questions to make sure that you're an 18 or above to be able to play the game. You
The
have to,
cheat sheet, or as I like to call it, the beat sheet.
the beat sheet. And they'd like dish it out at school, like, hey, here's your Leisure Suit Larry code. Just answer to these 10 questions.
No one ever learned math, but they did learn the cheat codes in your school. Just like, man, fuck the test. We've got this. Leisure Suit Larry, everybody.
When I was in
multiplication or pixelated titties.
When I was in high school, in computer class and that, we got some good mileage out of Duke Nukem 3D.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Shake
my
it,
boy.
baby.
The original.
And we went to show the
yes.
teacher that one day, but he was like this English, like serious, like because he knew computers, so he was a computer teacher that day. And I don't know, when you're a teenager, you just call like teachers over. You're like, look at this adult thing that's on here that we're doing, and then I like hit the space bar. And then he's like, he's like, I just close it like this, like Alt F4, and we're like, no. We decided they brought in this new class, like getting toward the end of high school. It was like some sort of social class thing, and it's like, we've got to raise money for the school. That was the whole point of the class. And we're like, me and Mark and a couple other mates and that, we were like, what can we do that we actually want to do that can make money for the school? We're sitting around in computer class and we're like, let's have a games night. Let's talk to the teacher, and the computer teacher will go around and just installed all these games on the computers, and we just charge people to come in and play games all night. So we just played like fucking Quake 2, like linked up like 16 people, like 16 player, like Quake 2 and shit.
Living the dream back there.
We had a couple of nights of those. Like the only reason we did it is because we just wanted to sit around and play fucking games. Then we made some money for the school. We only made like fucking $70 or $80 or whatever, but that was $70 or $80 they didn't have.
Yeah.
We did the exact same thing at like university, like a couple of years back, just to raise money for like the third year. So we just had a massive game night of like Halo, Mortal Kombat, Sonic Team Racing, and Guitar Hero. It was a different event. So you had like a team of 4, and like it was like massive competition between like all the nerds of the theatre school. So you can imagine. It was all 38 of us coming out strong. Not coming out strong, like...
Coming out
Yes, Queen!
strong.
We love Halo and Master Chief.
So what you're saying So what you're saying is you stole me fucking high school idea.
Yeah, pretty much. And raise more money, pretty much. That's the that's the soul of the
I've actually got a great story about that, like with setting up landing on the school computers.
Someone pissed on a computer.
Your little brother's in there going, you little prick, what are you doing?
I'm going to piss in the CD tray.
Enjoy your ROMs now, mate. At Cressy, we used to play like Unreal Tournament on all the computers, but then school, the IT
Unreal
teacher...
Tournament was sick.
Fuck, how good was that?
Fuck, that was good.
But then the IT teacher was like, deleted it off the system. But then there was this autistic kid who used to get picked on a fair bit, and he was like, oh, I could set it up off my laptop, running it off the system, and then we can all run it off my laptop on the system, so we can all play it at once. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, watch this. And he did it, and then like he never got picked on ever again.
Because he was the cool kid now. He's figured everything out.
He's just like walking around, he's just like, yeah, I'm bringing the games. Don't you worry, boys. It was a great story.
So, how many fights, like, for those who've played GoldenEye, just throwing it out there, might not be, how many fights did you ever get in if someone ever chose, like, Odd Job or Moonraker 3, the characters that were just, like, incredibly small? Because, as soon as, like someone shows that character, go, you son of a bitch! What?
Yeah.
Like you're just scum in my book.
I used to like go and pick, Jaws and stuff because I'm a big guy. I'm like, I want to like represent me, and then I realize I'm just
You're
working
bigger
at a complete
target.
fucking disadvantage.
There's just more of me to hit now.
So I suppose that's basically saying, like, because we're both smaller guys, I mean, that makes us happier.
Height-wise, yes.
Yeah, height-wise.
And you've got small dicks.
No, it's very big. It's huge.
It's in my small hand. Not his dick in my small hand.
No.
My small dick in my small
Jake,
hand.
shut up. So what it is you'd be playing that game, you're like, oh man, this is great. There's a character that represents me. It makes me feel better knowing that, like, because I'm smaller, I've got something to bring, and I can annoy people a lot more by being smaller. It's great. Just running around, people trying to do headshots on you, like, fucking missed.
Until eventually your friends stop hanging around with you because you won't stop choosing Odd Job. You're
No, it was
remember
mostly...
that time I had friends and played GoldenEye with everyone else? Now it's just me actually doing the storyline.
No, that was just my personality that stopped them coming around.
Never played GoldenEye. Didn't have a 64. I had a mate who had a 64. The Age of Empires guy. I played GoldenEye a couple of times at his house, but
No Mario Kart, no GoldenEye, no Zelda. This
Did he
guy's
even
like,
really have a childhood?
No.
I mean, like I'm starting to question this.
No wonder
now.
you're so bitter.
what was I going to say?
I don't know. It's in your
No,
head.
you tell me.
What's on the run
What's
sheet?
what's on the script we have?
Oh, it's empty. We've
Is
gone
it?
through it all.
We've gone through it all. There's some more games that I really liked. Hang on a sec.
Anyone play Pokemon Snap?
Oh,
As
no.
like a massive Pokemon
I learned
fan myself.
I learned all my photography skills from Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, it's just such a weird concept. Stuff like here's we're gonna ride a rail and take pictures of Pokemon, and that's the game. I'm like, genius, fantastic. What's that? You go to Blockbuster and print your photos out. Oh yes, I'm gonna put that in my grade 4 math book. Show all the girls that I'm down to fuck.
Other games I was really into was Banjo-Kazooie. That was like one of my favourite platformers ever played.
Fuck yeah, that was awesome.
How good was Banjo-Kazooie back in like those really great Rare days before they like went to Microsoft? I was just like, oh, it's so good. And like the characters on the screen, they didn't actually talk on the screen, but they just went, whoop, 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 whoop. That's it. Fuck, that's really impressive.
I'm back in the game. Conker's Bad Bird Day. Conker's Bad Bird Day.
Bad Bird Day.
Bad Bird Day. That's the beer talking. Conker's Bad Bird Day, definitely one of like the top N64 games.
That's probably Rare's best game, I reckon. Like, well, yeah, there's GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, and Conkers. I think they're crowning.
And Sea of Thieves.
That's recently came out, hasn't it? What's that like?
That came out like 3 days ago. Well, I just saw the headline for an article on that,
Oh, no.
and it was just like, I'm paraphrasing immensely, but it was like, Rare knew that there wasn't enough content for like a full game or whatever. Some shit like that it was.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was going to download it, but I think I'll just pirate it.
Oh.
Better have a drink.
But my last game that I really enjoyed as a kid was Pokemon Gold. And that was the game that was like, fuck yes. I got like the Aussie, black, yellow and green and yellow Game Boy Color. And it was...
I was about to say, was that on original Game Boy or Game Boy Color?
No, Game Boy Color,
Game Boy Color.
it was. I got the Game Boy Color for my birthday, and I've actually got it at home. It was the Sydney 2000 Olympics limited edition one.
Yeah.
And man, I pumped, I think, 250, nearly 300 hours into that game. Just playing the fuck out of it.
Just in all sort of games and stuff. What do you think is the game that you spent like the most time into? Like old games, probably it's going to be Final Fantasy X, which I've probably spent maybe about 500 hours in.
Did you end up pocketing it so that you go around into the other like grid spheres?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I maxed out everybody. I just spend most of my time playing Blitzball.
Oh, fuck, Blitzball!
That's where
My man!
Yes, there's
Real sports.
There's 100 hours of game time, and then there's 300 or 400 hours of just Blitzball. Like, I started to get like a really good team, and then I realized, oh wait, you just keep the original Aurochs team, and you have the best team in the entire game, and no one
You're
can beat
fucking
them.
speaking my language. I played the shit out of Final Fantasy X.
That was
Aurochs. Fucking hell, there's a word I've not heard in a
I
long
think
time.
Final Fantasy X might have had the best side game in all the Final Fantasy series, because you look at, I think 9, it would have been, or 8, had the card games.
Yeah.
And stuff, and then there hasn't, like, sure, the new one's got, like, fishing and cool stuff like that.
That was fun in Final Fantasy VIII, playing the card game and shit, and you drop a card and it'd flip the whole board, and you're like, fuck yeah boy.
But the entire game changed, because the entire, like, if you look at remember the trailer for Final Fantasy X, it was all just Blitzball, this guy playing a sport.
And he flips in the air and... Well, not in the air, because he's underwater, in a sphere.
Water
I've always wondered how they breathe. It's a weird sport, but I'm like, that seems
Maybe
cool.
it's like got double oxygen atoms in the actual water itself instead of like 2 hydrogen atoms and a oxygen atom. It's got 2 oxygen atoms and hydrogen atoms, so they're able to breathe. I think I saw like a video of a rat breathing underwater with that sort of thing. But anyway,
They did the same thing in the Abyss. So they used the liquid in that and actually like tested it on a rat to like prove to the actors, like James Cameron had to prove
That's
to the
where he
actors
got
that
his,
it was actually
his
going to
rat
work.
video from.
that's probably it. I've got terrible memory. But there hasn't really been a decent like in-game game like that sort of like Blitzball and that. Like,
Gwent.
until I was about to say until Gwent.
Here.
Oh no! Oh no! Jake, start running now.
They don't call me Gwent Jago for nothing.
Jake in the evening.
Yeah, It's okay. It's just an advanced version of.
It's
Final Fantasy
okay.
VIII. It's an advanced version of what we used to do. But we'll hear about retro gaming. We'll have our discussion of Gwent.
This is like Terminator Genesis all over again. Fuck.
Terminator Genesis sucks.
Well, at least we can work on that.
Yes.
All right. What was the first game that you really sort of like? You played the shit of and you memorized the fuck out of it, like back to front, inside and out.
Super Mario World on Super Nintendo.
That's good.
I can still play that now, and I know the levels. Like I know the secrets. I know everything.
Mine would have to be it would have to be Ocarina of Time. But there's like I was just talking to someone the other day how funny it is that if you go into the Spirit Temple is set up with the Garuda, who are all like females, and the Spirit Temple, the map layout actually looks like a uterus.
Really?
It does.
I
If
didn't
you
know
look it
about
up, it looks just like a uterus. I was just like, oh, you cheeky devils, Nintendo, look at you, making your little jokes in there. How funny is that?
It's probably like Mario Kart and stuff, like any course and stuff. I knew, you gotta do this jump and stuff in the cheekiest way to, especially in Rainbow Road, there's a secret way you gotta jump to get to like the very end.
How much of a baller did you feel like when you were going through that tunnel in the Cooper Beach, the Calamari Beach, and you went through the tunnel there? You go through the jump and go through the tunnel in through there, and you just turn your mate like, I am the fucking man.
As you just watch the thing go from 10th place to first, and you're like, go on, suck my egg.
And then you jump out and there's a blue shell. Boom, hit you.
The one game I knew, I played a lot of games. I knew all these games. The one game that I played the absolute fuck of, that I knew back to front, inside and out, upside and down, it was Resident Evil 3 Nemesis on the PS1.
Oh.
I knew exactly where to run, exactly where everything was, every puzzle piece, how to solve the puzzles, when the Nemesis would pop out. And I got through the games like 100 times or whatever, however many times. I unlocked all the weapons and that, and I had the Magnum. So when he just come running at me, I'd just like, because he used to just hit like aim, and it would just like spin around and just lock onto him, and bang, just shoot him once, and he'd go down like a sack of potatoes.
What was the game you guys wanted to have the most when you were growing up, but you never ended up getting it?
Oh,
Did you
fuck,
have
that's a really good question.
Was that on my list?
No,
I actually wrote that question out, and then I was like, nah.
Great minds.
Fuck, well, let me think about that for a minute.
I'm going to say the one that I really wanted and missed out on was Super Metroid. I really wanted that.
Yes.
And I never got it. And I played it when it came out on the mini SNES, only 6 months, a year ago, whenever that came out. And I started playing it. I'm like, fuck, I did miss out. Like, this game is really good.
So tight.
Yeah.
It's so tight. Everything's so tight.
Well, I wanted to get Far Cry 5 today, but I didn't get paid till tonight, so I had to wait till tomorrow.
That still counts.
I didn't get a PlayStation as well. That was another, a whole console and generation of stuff that I never got to.
Yeah, so I had a 64, and I didn't. My cousins had a PlayStation, so I'd go over to them and stuff. So, but what probably would have been something like Resident Evil, or a game like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, those PlayStation games that came out, because I just didn't have that console, so I missed out on that entire massive thing of amazing games.
No, it had to be Donkey Kong 64 for me, because it was around about I wanted real badly, and my stepdad was like, oh, well, they're having a big sale down at Myers. They're like getting rid of all their video games there. I'm like, fuck yes. He's like, all right, I'll go and see what they've got. He got down there, and there was just like all these shovelware 64 games. It was like not worth it. I was like, fuck, we missed out. And then it was just changing to a new generation, and I couldn't get it. And I was like, fuck. Also, we didn't have a little expansion thing for the 64 either. So,
man, the Donkey Kong games are something we never talked about tonight, but fuck, the Super Nintendo era Donkey Kong games.
How they utilize those...
Amazing.
How they utilize the games to make it look like something completely different. It actually blew people away in the console industry, or the gaming industry at the time. They were like, how the fuck have these silly little British men do this? Because
that's the heyday of Rare, really, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure that the guy from Nintendo of America went to Nintendo of Japan and said, look, we want to get these guys to make this game from Donkey Kong. And they're like, no, because Westerners can't make video games. Only Japanese can make video games. And he said to him, no, that's legitimately what he said. And he said, all right, well, how much do you lose on a really bad ad? Like, you make ads that make no money. He's like, about $1 million we spend. He says, all right, you make one less bad ad and we'll make you a game, and I promise you it'll destroy. And sure enough, it did.
That's really the story. Holy shit.
Yep.
Wow. I wish I knew that.
Huge.
Donkey Kong 2, Donkey Kong Country 2, best of the series. That would be, after Super Mario World, would be my probably second one that I put the most hours into.
Hell
like,
yeah.
that game is fucking awesome on every level. It's so good. Yeah. And pirate setting with Donkey Kong.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah. And it was a bit darker too. It was a bit darker because Donkey Kong Country 3 was like, oh, look at us. We got like a baby monkey character. It's like, piss off. Give me Dixie and Diddy together. That's better.
Their moveset and the way you could use them together was so much better
That's
than the
it.
first
You always
one
wanted to switch over to Dixie so you can like float around the place.
Yeah. And then Diddy was a lot quicker and could jump higher and stuff.
Like cartwheel quicker and yeah.
Loved that game. Still do.
Spent a lot of time, like on the 64 and stuff, playing a lot of wrestling games back in the day. WCW versus NWO, like
64
like
was the
sold
console
out.
for wrestling, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And you used to be able to customize your characters. Like one of the first times you could actually do that.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
It was amazing stuff. Like I used to be a massive fan for like wrestling themes and stuff. Like that was like, oh my god, the entrance music is so cool. So like once these games all like came out and stuff, and you could create your own character and give them their own Titantron and their own music and stuff. I'd have like this would have back when WrestleMania 2000 came out on the 64.
Yep.
So I have like the Godfather, like Titantron, and they have like Jericho like in the background stuff. So it was just one of the best. Like wrestling games back then were so good.
Yeah.
It was such a weird, especially thing coming from like superstars and stuff, where you just like these characters and stuff, and there's all these different.
I used to create like the most ridiculous looking wrestlers, like these little like skinny old men and stuff that'd walk out to like fucking Power Man 5000 or something.
When worlds collide, it's always when worlds collide. Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Just character customization in that early level was so interesting back then. It was so cool. Yeah. Now it's like you expect it with every game.
You can literally put your own face into a you create a character now.
Yeah.
I can't even think of a game that I wanted that I never got. I can't put because I got everything I ever wanted.
And he had brothers as well.
Yeah, I had one brother. He
Brother.
texted me the other day because he's still running like ADSL 1 over in Queensland. And he texted me the other day. He's like, he's doing like his uni masters at the moment. And he's like, you fucking wait till I get home. I'm finally getting the NBA and I'm going to smash you fucking Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm like, come on then. He's like, my team's pretty good. And I'm like, come on then. Finally getting the NBA and he thinks he's somebody now.
Did you play much of the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi?
Mate, I played them all. I played Budokai 1, 2, and 3. Played Budokai Tenkaichi. Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was the best.
Yeah.
I played Raging Blast 1 and 2. Didn't play Xenoverse, but I got Dragon Ball Fighters.
Raging Blast.
Who sounds definitely like a porn.
Welcome to Dragon Balls Raging Blast.
Dragging balls.
Dragging Ball.
Raging erection.
Wow, Jake, you
Let's just
really
go-
went there.
Yeah, I love subtlety.
No, but I played them all. Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was the best because you could just zip around the map. I could do fucking instant transmission Kamehamehas. It was the best.
And they had like the best roster of fighters as well. Like they had like it was so inclusive. You had Oob as well. You had like all the Dragon Ball Z movie villains as well, which you didn't normally get, like King Slug, Giant Slug,
Lord Slug.
There we go. Third time's a charm.
Lord Slug.
You go
Sounds
through
like
all
a
these
porn
different
star as
titles.
well.
You're like, I know it's a
Yes.
title.
Oh, you could-
Slug.
Caesar Slug,
You could choose
Kaiser
fucking
Slug?
Lord
Lube.
General Slug.
No, I did actually play a lot of Dragon Ball Z games. The first Budokai was in Japanese. I remember I got really excited because my brother went up the coast and I was excited all day. And then he came home with the first Budokai game, which was in Japanese. It had no English dub.
Yeah.
And I watched a video on that other day and that's a really bad game. But they also had, did you play Ultimate Battle 33 on the PS1.
No, I didn't have a PlayStation, so I missed out.
Ah, righto. But yeah, I played a lot of Dragon Ball Z games, and I've been playing Dragon Ball FighterZ recently too, which is fucking bomb. It's the fucking bomb diggity Except JB fucked me over with my DLC code for Super Saiyan God, Goku and Vegeta.
Oh, shit.
And they didn't give me my code, and then I went back, and then they gave me a code, and then I got home and realized it was for Xbox One and not PS4. So then I had to jump. Then I had to jump on the PS Store, and I just spent the $7 and bought it all.
You would have saved it in petrol.
Yeah, probably.
Would have. But yeah, I like Dragon Ball Z. I liked all those games and that as well. Yeah, they were great.
Yeah,
we sunk a lot of hours into that game as well. All those games, for sure.
It's how you truly like build up a friendship and stuff. It's just by like having a fighting game between two people, like a Mortal Kombat, a Street Fighter, even a Mario Party, which is pretty much a fighting game. Like, you don't fight in game, but you fight in real life.
That's the funny thing too. Like just going to fighting games and that, Bob. We had this discussion the other day about fighting games. Fighting games have no life anymore because those you get Street Fighter 5, you get Dragon Ball FighterZ. Like Dragon Ball FighterZ had the biggest drop off in players in like Steam history or something like that. They lost like 96% of players in the first week.
The Super Smash Brothers community is pretty big. Like
different consoles, though.
Yeah,
different.
But that's what I'm saying though, Russell. Is like fighting games back in the day. There were games that were built for like two people to play on one console, sitting side by side with each other. It's no fun playing online. I guess it's kind of fun, but it's not the same. It doesn't capture that same thing. That's why fighting games have
elbow
no
them
rule.
and
I'll pull the cord out.
I'm gonna be honest here. Like, how many times nowadays do we actually just sit down with somebody? Like, hey, do you want to come around and play some games? Because everything is just online now. It's I'll trash talk to you on over headset and stuff.
Sorry, my headset's run out of battery. I'm just gonna sit here in silence now.
Yeah, after you just
I don't
me
feel
20
like
times.
playing split screen, it's like too much real estate to play two player on my 65-inch television.
Plasma screen 3D television.
But we'll all play fucking GoldenEye on a 16-inch monitor.
It's amazing how much we dealt with that back in the day. You were just in your own mind, you're like, it didn't matter. I know I've got those 5 pixels, they're mine.
Yeah. Don't be looking in my corner.
There's one TV. I don't look in those 4 inches. That's all you get.
Used to set up bits of cardboard and everyone have to sit above or below their bit of cardboard attached to the screen.
Don't screen cheat. Stop screen cheating.
Actually, that's an awesome feature that my TV my old TV, not the new one I just got, had that never took off.
Oh, what was that?
Using 3D glasses, and basically
I saw
it was took the split screen view and projected across the entire screen, and one person put on a pair of glasses that had 2 lefts and one put on a pair that had 2 rights, and you couldn't see what the other screen it had sort of
That's ingenious, isn't it?
yeah, it's amazing. And my wife and I used to play Halo and stuff together and be able to play a split screen game full screen.
It
And we'd sit around with fucking 3D glasses.
It'd be great if you could do that with actual TV. It's hey, I want to watch NKR. Oh, hey, well, I want to watch the news. This is you put on your headphones, separate glasses, same TV. Boom.
I know we talked about games that left a lasting sort of emotional impact on us and stuff. Are there any games that left maybe a physical impact in your life? Because I know I can never truly look at my hand the same without seeing the damage that Mario Party took on me from constantly rotating the middle controller in certain games.
Yeah,
and people did
Mario Party.
People sued Nintendo for that.
Really?
Yeah, people, because they were from in Mario Party 1, there were so many games you had to rotate the middle control stick, and they got blisters and developed that. People were suing Nintendo and were successful, and they were sent money and also Nintendo gloves, which would be a cool patent as well.
Wow.
It's funny you say that because it was only a couple of years ago. I think it was at my mum and dad's house, and my mum she was telling a story with the hands, and I sort of just saw her thumbs, and I was like, "What is with your thumbs? They're so pronounced." And I looked at mine, and mine are flat, and then I was like, "Look at mine," and she had the big ball of flesh on the end of her thumb, and I'm like, "I've got gamer's thumbs because I've been playing video games for the last 30 years.
No fingerprints on
And
your
I've got like
thumbs at
flat.
all.
I've got literally got flattened thumbs now.
You do?
Yeah.
Fuck, you
Yeah.
play a lot of games. Fuck.
Yo, just every gamer just looks at their thumbs and go, "Oh, so many blisters." This is all like just ups. I'm looking at my thumb; it's just dead skin.
It's
really,
like
pretty
carpenter's
much.
hands, but on your thumbs. Like, just strong, bloody, thick skin.
It's powerful though. Like it's great for working the clit, so it's fine.
Click Commander.
Yes.
No, I think my physical embellishment that's left on me from video gaming is when I bet my brother at Mario Kart. It was really close at the end, and I smashed him with a red shell, and I got over the line. And he picked up a tea towel, flicked it at me, and this was before I wore glasses. Ended up scarring my iris. So there's actually a little line on my iris where it's left a scar.
Video games are intense.
I know.
And your brother's a prick by the sound of it.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
smart.
he pisses on games. He hits
is,
him in the
no,
eye.
this is the older brother. He's the one who's more violent to me. The other one's violent to video games. It's why I moved out quite early.
He's just emotionally violent to you.
Yep, exactly right. Hit me where it hurts.
All right, one final question before we wrap up. If you were trapped on a desert island and you only had a 16-inch TV,
Yep.
a console of your choice, and one game,
Fuck, this is good.
what would it be?
This is a very good question. I reckon. You see, I've gotten a lot of mileage out of Age of Empires 2. That's a game I can just play over and over and over and over again, because I've got a hell of a god complex. But I think I've been playing Disgaea a lot lately. I don't know if you guys have ever played Disgaea. It's
No, but I'm nodding.
okay. Yep. No, I saw you nodding. And I'm like, he's played. No, he hasn't. He's just looking at me with those frantic eyes, like, no, keep talking. It's a sort of a grid-based sort of anime style game. Don't judge me. Where you go around this sort
Fucking love anime. What are you talking about?
yeah, boy. I was actually watching anime the other day, and my wife walked in, and she's like, "You watching anime, you fucking nerd?" And
You're like,
she
no,
threw a
it's
cushion
fucking
at me.
hentai.
Know the difference, bitch.
It's so hard to alt tab to a different tab to like porn when Mrs. walks in when you're watching anime. You're like, no shit, she's gonna watch anime.
Especially when you got your dick in your hand.
Exactly right.
It's really hard.
Come on, Goku.
Come on, Goku!
I wasn't expecting that to be funny. But no, I reckon it'd be Disgaea
Something about
because
mayo.
in the game it's got like unlimited gameplay and you can level up items by going into separate worlds in the actual item itself, and in that actual item you can find other items in that item to go into the worlds in that item, and it's just continuously leveling up whatever
That
you
sounds like loot
intense.
boxes in fucking Battlefront 2.
It is, but it costs you nothing. Like all it costs is your time, which is probably worth a bit more than money. But anyway, yeah.
What about you, Bob? Desert Island, 16-inch TV, one console, one game. Retro console.
I'd probably take the SNES and do Donkey Kong Country 2.
Yeah?
Yep, that'd be my jam for sure.
You wouldn't just like, I'm just going to take the mini SNES because it's got like 100 games built into it or whatever.
You're just hoping whoever's like the arbiter of this whole thing that's happening doesn't know much about video games. You're like, oh yeah, no, this is definitely
This
from the
is-
90s.
Yeah, see? Look, Google it.
Look
see?
at
It pretty much looks the same.
I'm sorry, no, the HDMI was from the second console that was made that still was in the 90s.
And then you get it out there and you realise that your 16-inch TV, doesn't have an HDMI cord.
You have your Wilson
Oh,
moment.
fuck.
Wilson.
Well, son. No, yeah, well, I mean, if I could get away with that, I'd do it. But, yeah, I think, like, that'd be my thing. Because that game's got, like, such a variation in different types of levels and,
Yep.
and things. Like, there's the roller coaster levels and stuff.
And also, if you want to
And
beat
like
the
the
game,
mining carts
Oh,
and shit
yeah.
like that, or
Mine
Yeah,
carts.
yeah. And, like, the parrot levels where you have to, like, cling onto the fucking parrot and go through the thorns.
What was they spitting in the game? Like, remember how they spit things at?
I don't know.
Are they nuts or something? What's the parrot spitting? Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what would yours be, Jakes?
Probably.
Oh, no, Jakes, what would your game be? Stuck in an island.
sorry, Jake.
Sorry, Jakes and Jake. Fuck, that's a bit close, isn't it? What would it be, Jakes?
I'm tossing up between two. I'm thinking PS2, Final Fantasy X,
Yeah.
because I know I
Does
get a
that
lot of
count
mileage
as
out of that
a
game.
retro? I was thinking pre-2000 console.
All right,
All
so
right, then.
is this before or after the towers get knocked down? Like, what are we going for here?
Whoa,
'cause that's
deep
when
cut.
Sorry.
That's when it changed.
That's when it all changed. And you're like, oh, there goes my innocence. Oh.
That's when Metal Gear Solid 1 came out.
Metamucil and Koshi.
Now
all
we're
at
going to make
once.
games about terrorists and killing terrorists.
So you want to hear about these new terrorists that are getting around? My name's Koshi, and welcome to Sunrise. Oh.
I'd probably say PS1, Resident Evil 2.
Beautiful.
Two different characters.
Yeah.
You put in players one character and then the second, whereas you flip the discs around. You start as Claire first instead of Leon. The game's different as you play through it, so you can get some mileage out of that. And then you got speed running as well. I tried to fucking speed run that game about 10 years ago, and I was doing really well because it's like beat the game in like 4 hours, and you unlock like the rocket launcher and shit. So I like had this very last save, and I tried it and I ran, and I didn't do it. And then I come back to it. I think the first time I realized I was just over the 4 or 5 hours or whatever it was. And I was like, fuck, if I really motor this, I can do the speed run. So then when I come back to it, I tried to do it. And then it went right through the credits and the thing come up and it was like a minute and a half over. And I was like, get fucked! And then I just didn't play it again after that. Yeah, but it was like an hour of playing. Like, run and shoot, run past that zombie. Oh, but then I missed out on by like an hour, minute and a half or something like that. I was like, get fucked.
That's still pretty impressive in my book.
Might have been less. It
Yeah,
might have been
yeah.
like 40-something seconds or something. But yeah, it was heartbreaking.
Isn't it mental when you watch these people who beat games? Like, you're just like, oh, I beat this game, I'm so good. And you look online that someone's beaten Dark Souls using a Dance Dance Revolution map.
Or bananas.
And just like going, no, I'll give up gaming. This is not fair. What are you doing, you crazy bastards? Like some guy bet Legend of Zelda blindfolded. Like blindfolded.
Yeah.
he's just like, I know 2 steps here, hit that, turn left, go around there. It's just like,
There was another one I saw. It was like a blind guy got through. Yeah, it was Zelda or something like that. Yeah.
what? It just gets me upset, you know. I just like watch this.
I thought I did really well on that high wall of Lothric.
I thought I was doing good.
Anyway, Jake, what would be your pick?
I'll probably be stuck between 2 as well. It would be.
We only get to pick one, only child.
I'm sorry. I get everything. I'm sorry. I was tossing up between SmackDown No Roll or it would have to be Final Fantasy 8. But if this is the case, it's going to be Final Fantasy 8 if I'm stuck.
Nice.
It's a great game. There's so much you can do in it.
Squall.
And it does have the best card game ever.
Second best card game.
Guys, please.
This is our tag off. This is how we get me back. It's like, oh, Jake's come back and he's going to debate which is the better game.
And then they
building
became the best of friends.
Yes.
Let's see what's on the cards, boys.
Drink.
That's actually a good pit. Just real quick, Jake, know your role over Here Comes the Pain?
Well, only because, like, Here Comes the Pain is good, but I think we might be going just slightly into, like, as you wanted for, like, Final Fantasy X stuff, I feel like that might be just slightly creepy into that region of slightly...
Too new.
Yeah, slightly
Yeah.
too new and stuff. We're still... Because, like, that's still, like, PS1 sort of thing before moving on to the...
I smell what you're cooking.
But what's
Brother.
What's your definition of retro? At what point do you just go, all right, that's the cutoff point?
It's hard because, like, for us, you know, I would sort of picture it 2000 beforehand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beforehand. So,
Yeah.
you know, the Nintendo's probably getting up to the Saturn 64s,
Yeah.
those sort of things.
But
Once
then,
we, I think,
you know,
sort
if
of
I-
once
if
we
you're-
hit...
If I asked my brother that, who's 6 years younger, he'd be like, oh, PlayStation 2 would be retro for him.
No.
But that, I mean, yeah.
I personally feel there's 2 reasons. Is that when you stop blowing into a cartridge, when that stops being like when they stop making cartridges, I think that's when it cuts off.
Yeah.
Also, when controllers no longer have cords, I think that's when it cuts off.
Fair
It's just
call,
like,
fair call.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's got a cord. All right, that's old, you know. But now it's like wireless. It's like, whoa, watch out.
But I think in our regard, PS2 and original Xbox, that's pushing it a bit for
I
retro,
agree, I
yeah.
agree. No,
Because,
you're
like,
right.
you wouldn't consider Kingdom Hearts a retro game.
No.
Exactly.
I'm
And
still
that-
trying to get Bob to play that.
It's fantastic. Kingdom Hearts was actually the first game I got on the PlayStation because it came like in a package and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, This is.
And you're a big
Shit.
Disney fan too, so.
Oh yeah, I love my Disney porn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goofy.
A Goofy movie is a great movie. Anyway, we might wrap it
I
up.
like an extremely goofy movie. It's an actual movie. What?
Alright, we'll watch it.
Bobby Baxter, if people want to find you on the internet, where can they go to find you on the internet?
Go to the internet and look up Bobby
The
Baxter.
internet.
Go to the internet.
Tell the teens to get on the internet.
And Bobby Baxter cartoons on Facebook and Instagram, and bobbybaxter.com for all my other stuff.
Buy a copy of Brown Fury, please.
Yeah, or just read it for free on Webtoons if you want to search
There's
it.
some dollary dues.
Yeah.
Definitely check out his Instagram for his new Earthworm Gym pick as
Oh,
well. It's
yeah,
fucking
that was awesome.
sick. At Bobby Baxter Cartoons.
I'm actually halfway through another one. I couldn't help myself.
Oh,
Through
sick
another one.
burn.
Yep.
Would you say it's Earthworm Gym 2?
Ooh, could be.
The second.
The
Russell
second.
Redmond, people want to find you online. Where can they find you?
Yeah, just jump onto Launceston Memes, which is my meme page, or otherwise, if you want to see any of my silly shit posting, just go on any Examiner comment sections where I'm just saying silly stuff. And you
Launceston
might...
Talks or whatever.
Yeah, Chit Chat Launceston.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, the drama on there
That is
so
literally
good.
70% of my Facebook feed. It's Russell commenting on everything.
And then it's like Russell's actual Facebook thing where he comments on the shit that he's been commenting on.
Or just pictures of me with cats I met whilst gardening, which is my new thing.
Oh, I fucking love cats while met whilst gardening. That's the best.
I do gardening as a side project, and I meet a lot of cats. So I take a selfie of me with a cat. I give a little review of the cat as well. It's great.
Oh, he's a bit shy, but he's a nice fluffy cat. Whatever.
It's like the Yelp for cats. It's meow.
That's it. But yeah, that's where you'll find me online, guys.
Oh, I think I'll invite you around. I've got a cat in the garden.
Oh, I'll pat the cat. I'll do the garden. Don't you worry.
Nice.
As long as he doesn't do your garden.
I don't have to do
As long as you don't do the cat and pat the garden.
Oh, good bush. Good bush.
Come here, puss.
And what about you, Jake? Do you have an online presence? Do you have a stand-up page? Facebook page?
I do. Thank you for asking. I've got Jake Baylis Comedian, which you can find on the Facebook. If you want to like me on the Instagram, it is The Baylis.
BAYLISS.
One S.
Oh shit!
One
Sorry.
S. Scratch that. It's fine.
Sorry, Brent Jagu.
And you can also like Insider Comedy, which is the comedy night that I run every second Wednesday of the month at Red Brick Road Cider House. The shows normally start at 7:30. We have fantastic acts.
In Launceston.
Yeah, we actually our show next is on April 11th, which we're having Russell. We're also having a few comedians coming down from Hobart, Sally Rose McShane, Steve McNeese.
You've really
Ashley
sold
Cairns.
those guys up earlier in the night, haven't you?
It's okay. They won't listen to this. It's fine. They don't even like my Facebook post. They're not going to see this. It's fine. But yeah, so like Insider Comedy, like Jake Baylis Comedian on Facebook, and yeah, Launceston Memes, maybe. If you
I think I'm going to that next show at the Cider House. I think I am. I think I'll be there. You better
Good.
fucking come.
It's only
It's all right.
it's only $5 entry, so it's a good night. 2 hours, good ciders.
Can you just waive the entry fee and get us free drinks?
I'm pretty sure I can.
Don't worry, boys. I'll shout you in. I'm one of the performers. I'll get you in. Don't you worry.
Get you on that rider.
Yeah, that's it.
But if he tells the jokes like he did tonight, you'll be drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, I won't be allowed back. So.
And if you want to find the Bearded Geeks online, you can go to Facebook, facebook.com/Bearded Geeks Pod, or on Instagram at The Bearded Geeks, on Twitter at Bearded Geeks Pod. If you want to buy a t-shirt for the show, just jump onto TeePublic and get a fucking t-shirt, brother. Or like a little, like, kids' clothes with the fucking Bearded Geeks logo on it.
Brother.
And what else are we on, Bob?
SoundCloud.
Oh, that's right. If you want to listen, if you actually want to listen to this, you can jump on SoundCloud and iTunes. You can download the show there, and you can also find us on YouTube. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. All right, Russell.
Don't piss on my cartridges ever again, Curtly. I'll beat the shit out of you.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for being our reigning carryover champ. Jake, thanks for coming in.
Anytime.
And it's been nice being on the show, and Doug will be here with you guys next week. See you later.
No, you're staying here, Bobby.
We'll have a bit of colour on the show next week. Don't worry, guys.
Thank you for not letting me wear pants. Thank you very much, guys. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. This is going to be a long episode to listen to. So, thanks very much. We'll see you all next week on the Bearded Geeks. Hey!
Bye.